follow, like, share.
Hello, welcome to the latest edition of Last World Boxing. Joined by regulars Sean and Brett. How you doing, boys?
It's going to be exclusive on here as well.
Yeah,
so,
all good yourself.
Give more a follow.
All good, thank you. All good. Good to see you both. So, I think I don't know if I can say Brett's invested in this because being plastic, but Leigh versus Warrington, big fight next Saturday. To be fair to Brett, he did put the miles in coming over to last Leigh fight and Kikache. So he just jumped straight into it. I'll come to you first, Sean, as a slightly outsider when it comes to this fight, and no dog in the race, really. How do you see this one going, Sean?
Yeah, it's an intriguing fight, isn't it? I think the loser's done for sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much appetite there is for this fight in the country, to be honest, outside Nottingham and Leeds, obviously. I think it's a bit of a stale fight, shall I say. I don't see there's too much excitement for it, unfortunately. But I guess it's a fight where they're both at the same stage of their careers. Let's face it, they're both closer to the end than the beginning. So it'd be interesting to see who has enough left.
Who goes into this fight the fresher, Sean, in your opinion?
Before the Kikache fight, I would have said Leigh Wood. But just given how brutal that fight was for him, I think it's a real toss on the coin, doing your favourite thing, sitting on the fence. But I generally can't split him, really, in terms of miles on the clock.
And what do you make of the undercard? Some people locally are having a good whinge about the undercard and think it's a bit pantomime with Molly McCann being on it. Not my words. I'm going along fight week, not my words. But they have suggested that the undercard could have been a little bit stronger than it is. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think that's across the board in boxing in general, really, isn't it?
Yep. Okay, coming to you then, Brett. So, obviously, we have got a live dog in this fight, in the race. Obviously, I've been down to Ben Davison's gym. I've interviewed Leigh Wood. He's very confident going in, which he should be. Give me your take and a bit of a breakdown how you think this plays out, because people are billing it as a boxer against a puncher, which I don't think is very fair on Leigh, to be honest. But give us your thoughts.
Yeah, no, it's. I think Sean's right. If you'd have asked me, not knowing what we know now about the camp that Leigh had, but going into the Kikache fight, if that opponent was Warrington, what would happen? I would have said that Leigh Wood would have absolutely destroyed him, and quickly. The sense is now is that you know what I think of Leigh and how much I love him, but it was a brutal fight and it was a brutal camp leading up. So that would have definitely knocked some miles off his clock. Whereas you see Josh Warrington in the build up, he's angry. Whether that's going to be good for him or not, I don't know. He's angry. He's up for it. He needs Leigh Wood. He knows he needs Leigh Wood. He needs him if he's going to have another charge again. And he's looking absolutely ripped. And he looks like he's happy, which is quite scary. As much as he's biting and he's chomping at the bit, you see bits of him in camp and stuff, and he looks happy. Now, my concern is, and I've said this to you offline, is if it's Leigh just getting one bit more money before he sails off into the sunset, then crack on, because he's been an unbelievable servant to us Nottinghamshire folk and to British boxing, as is Warrington, by the way. Warrington's given the fans some unbelievable nights. If it's a retirement fight for both of them, I'll never back against Leigh in a scenario like this, because you're right, mate. He's more than one punch artist. I mean, even against Kikache, he showed in certain rounds that he can put his hands together and he can turn the corner. But I do feel like he's probably going to be looking for that knockout. My hope is he's not too many rounds down when he's looking for it, if that makes sense. Yeah. As we go into the later stretch, where the longer it goes on, the more trouble he's got. He needs to do what you just said there. He needs to use his boxing skills, pick up a few rounds, so he's not relying on the knockout. And then if the knockout comes, it can be organic, where he's not looking for it, if that makes sense. So it's an intriguing fight. I do actually think Sean's wrong. I think Eddie's done a great job at building some interest in it with that promo. I think people have bought back in, and I think you'll be surprised with the viewing figures. And in terms of the undercard being a bit of a a pantomime, but Dave Allen's pantomime anyway, and he always has been. Save the pay-per-view, Dave Allen, and Molly McCann. What is she? What is she going to bring? But ultimately, I do think it brings the Dave Allen fans, it brings the Liverpool fans, and it'll massively. There's such needle between Forest and Leeds right now in the relegation battle. It'll bring all of Leeds out, and it'll bring all of Nottingham out. So I'm excited.
And I know Molly McCann's Everton, but obviously Liverpool play Forest on the Sunday, so I'd expect a strong presence from the Scousers.
Yeah, I just think in general it will be Liverpool and Everton, 100%, because they've got something to watch for. And it's Forest Liverpool at home as well, isn't it?
Yeah, in Nottingham, yeah.
So it's straight from that into Hooters for a quick pint. And other establishments are available.
I've never heard of that place. Where's that?
Other establishments are available, of course. If anybody is wondering, Nottingham has some unbelievable bars, but that's just on the walk down, as I can remember. I think I went there once at one point. Yeah, it's going to be the atmosphere in there, though, mate. And as you know, because you'll be there all fight week, and then you'll be there near ringside. It's going to be deafening, because I get the sense that it feels like a relegation battle between the football fans, and it also feels like a retirement fight for the fighters.
What do you make? I'll come to you, Brett, on this one. What do you make of the weigh-in being on a Friday night between 5 and 6 rather than lunchtime?
Wow, I didn't know that, mate. Maybe it's again. Is Eddie trying to create that UFC vibe, that Zuffa thing at the minute, where what he's trying to do is he's trying to get them from the pub to come in there, start the night out, start the weekend out, get the intense crowd in there, build it. Because I was surprised, mate. Obviously, you educated me. You took me on my first behind the scenes press thing with the Wood Kakachi fight, and I was surprised that there was no atmosphere there, because there really wasn't. Was there? It was like it almost felt like intense, because the fans weren't getting behind Kakachi really. The fans weren't getting behind Wood. There was no chanting. There was no singing. But where is this press conference, mate? Do you know?
Albert Hall again, I believe.
So it's at Albert Hall. So yeah, maybe it's to create that more that vibe of the fans singing songs and getting a bit of atmosphere. That would make sense to me.
Okay, Sean, prediction time. And no sitting on the fence. We don't do splinters. Talk to me. How does this play out?
Yeah, I just think it's going to be one fight too many for Leigh Wood, I'm afraid to say, for you boys. I think Josh Warrington's got one last. Warrington's going to win by stoppage.
Yeah, don't worry about that. I'll edit that bit out and I'll change it for you picking Leigh Wood. Is that all right? So, Brett, coming on to you then, Brett. So, give it me, Brett. How's it going? How's it playing out?
Yeah, I'm going to speak with my heart, forget my head. I'm going to say Leigh Wood between rounds 6 to 8. Yeah,
and I'll just throw my 2 penny thing before I close the video out. So I'm going Leigh Wood round 9. I think Warren. I think it might be similar to the first one. Warrington will have early success, but then Leigh Wood will slowly and surely start to get to him. Both fighters are older now, quite considerably older. And I'm wondering whether Warrington might lose his discipline. He might lose his discipline, and that's when the opportunity might present itself for Wood. So I'm going Wood round 9. Okay, that's all things Leigh Wood, Josh Warrington. Thank you to Brett. Thank you to Sean. Sean, I hope you're wrong. This has been Last Bell Boxing, proudly sponsored by Shore Building Services and SC Travel Limited. We'll see you on the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.